Welcome to another episode of Mythbusters Fitness Edition, where we break down the different information that's out there and give you the facts so that you can make the best decision for your training and nutrition needs. Today's myth: I can't make progress at home. We're all stuck at home. We're all set into a new routine, a new way of life, but that doesn't mean that you can't have progress. In fact, I'm still seeing plenty of clients succeed and improve their results because they're at home and they have the time to focus on training and nutrition. So today I have 12 tips, 6 training, 6 nutrition tips for you to apply while you're at home so that you get the most out of your time here. The first ones we're going to break down are your training tips. And training tip number 1 is to train using RPE or RIR. If you don't know what those are, RPE is rate of perceived exertion. RIR is reps in reserve. They're similar in that you want to train so that you're leaving a certain number of reps left in the tank. We're going to temporarily disregard the number of reps that equal strength, hypertrophy, power, endurance, and we're going to train until we have a certain number of reps left. We're going to use the equipment that you have, and that way you're applying the right amount of tension on the muscle. So let's say you wanted 2 to 3 reps in reserve left, or you wanted an RPE 8. That means you're going to do as many reps as you possibly can until you feel you only have 2 to 3 left. That means that you have to push and challenge yourself, and you have to know your limits, but it's going to get you to that tension regardless of the equipment. Training tip number 2 is get creative with the styles and the reps and the modalities. Your muscles have no idea where the tension is coming from. They don't know if it's a barbell, a band, a dumbbell, if it's a hold. They just know that they're being faced with tension. So get creative. Use backpacks, use towels, use what you have in your home to create tension. Train with different styles. Use different styles of reps. Use different training modalities, because your muscles just need tension to grow. Training tip number 3, add tempos and pauses. And these are different styles of reps that could be included into number 2, but these are some of the easiest ways to vary the tension on the muscle. You add tempos. Maybe you add a 4-second descent. So let's use a squat for an example. You lower down to the bottom of that squat to a 4-second count, pause, and drive back up. A 4-2-0. Let's add pauses. Maybe a push-up. You pause at the bottom of your push-up. Drop down to the bottom, 1, 2, 3, press, and back up. Tempos and pauses are great ways to add work and extend the tension on your muscle. Number 4, add to your daily steps. Go out for walks, get moving, force yourself up out of your chair and to move more throughout your day. More daily steps is more calories burned. More calories burned is better for your progress and better for your fat loss, your muscle building results. Number 5, 2-a-days. Now, I'm not saying go balls to the wall and train your tail off during this time. I'm saying that it might be easier and you might be able to dedicate a little bit more focus by breaking up your training sessions. So maybe you do upper body in the morning and you do lower body in the evening. You do a few sets, 3 to 4 sets in the morning, 3 to 4 sets in the evening. Maybe you do all upper body one day and you have all push in the morning and you have all pull in the evening. Find a way to break that up so that you're able to commit more workload into those smaller training sessions. You're able to break it up in the day and keep yourself moving throughout your day. Last but not least for training tips is focus on conditioning. That cardiovascular endurance, if you're primarily a strength or resistance training individual, is going to increase your total work capacity. So you add what your cardiovascular system can do, you're going to be able to use more volume in your training sessions, which more volume creates more strength and more hypertrophy, and you're going to be able to produce better results. Add to your conditioning. Those are your 6 training tips. Let's break it into the 6 nutrition tips. Number 1 is get enough calories. Right now is not the time to drop into this major calorie deficit. You need enough calories to fight disease. You need enough calories for energy, for mental focus, to complete your daily tasks. So be sure that you're eating enough. I get that it's easy. You're in a different routine and your eating times might be different. But set reminders and make sure that you're not missing meals. Number 2 is prioritize your macros. You've always wanted the time to focus on your nutrition. You don't have time to track macros because it takes too long. Well, use this time. You have more time right now. Activities are limited outside of the home, so take those 15 minutes a day to plan out your macros so that you're hitting them. So be sure that you're getting enough protein for muscle preservation, carbs for energy, fats for hormone balance and for energy as well. Number 3 is drink more water. For me personally, water's been difficult. I'm out of my routine. I know kind of in my standard day how much water I should have had up to this point. And right now, because my routine is different, I'm not as familiar with that. So I'm finding myself having to remind myself to drink more water. But water is great for mental clarity, for keeping those muscles fresh, for digestion, for keeping your immune system strong, and protecting and defending against disease. Number 4 is take a look at your macros. Now, as a coach, I don't always tell people to look at macros because typically if we're in the right calorie and the right macro range, our macros are just fine. But right now, giving a little additional focus to those macros might help you defend a little bit better against disease, might help your body recover and fight some additional things off. So look to add in things or check to see where you're at with sodium and magnesium. Check to see where you're at with a variety of micronutrients so that you're not shorting yourself and creating too large of a deficit. Number 5 is get more sleep. Now, this might extend into training as well, but it fits really well with nutrition because if you're short on sleep, you're going to find yourself craving some of those lower quality foods more often. Force yourself or challenge yourself to go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Get at least 7 hours of sleep. You're in a major sleep deprivation state with just 6 hours of sleep. So challenge yourself. Maybe be in bed for 8 hours. Get 7 hours of sleep. But be sure that you're getting adequate, restful sleep so that your body's not forced to have to work against another obstacle. Last but not least is treat yourself. That's important for nutrition. Right now we're stressed, we're overwhelmed, we're feeling chaotic and out of routine. Treating yourself isn't a bad thing. But if you plan it in and you know when it's coming, it gives you something to look forward to. When you get to it, it gives you something to kind of check off. You get to tune out your nutrition brain a little bit and you get to recharge and reset your mental focus so that when you are done treating yourself, you're back ready to go to lock in on your nutrition. Don't be afraid to treat yourself even though activity might change, workouts might change. It's okay. It's actually probably going to help you adhere to your program a little bit better. Those are the 12 tips for how to make progress at home. Because the reality is, it's not that you can't progress while you're training at home or while you're working at home. You can. You just have to put in the work and make sure that you're checking the boxes, adding to your routine, and making sure that you have structure in your day. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Mythbusters Fitness Edition. Check out next week's episode.